It's another great Saturday morning, and I welcome you to your weekend dose of news analysis and current affairs program, The Platform. My name is Sam Omatseye. Today we shall examine the Dogara El-Rufai controversy, as well as recovered loot and the implication of the President's insistence on Magu as EFCC chair. Joining me to discuss these issues are lawyer, Dr. Fasi Yusuf. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
And public affairs analyst, Dayo Lumuwagun. Did I get it right?
Lumuwagun.
Lumuwagun.
Always my pleasure, sir.
Welcome. The presidency has thrown its weight behind the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, and this may just be the moral booster needed to fight corruption. And perhaps this is why we have seen in recent times an interesting gale of cash discoveries stashed in various secured locations in Nigeria. Magu says he will continue to fight corruption whether anybody likes it or not. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo even feels that sending Magu's name to the Senate for confirmation was not necessary because the Constitution does not make it compulsory for the presidency to seek the Senate's approval before Magu can do his job. Will the senators swallow this bitter pill or push aside their hatred and allow the anti-corruption fight to thrive? What do you say, Yusuf?
Well, the vice president is a seasoned lawyer.
Yeah.
He's a professor of law, and he's also a senior advocate of Nigeria. So he must be talking from his knowledge of the law, and I want to concur with him. The fact is that the president can appoint somebody in acting capacity, but for how long the law does not say. And moreover, the name has been presented twice, and twice rejected. But unfortunately for the Senate, it descended into the arena of conflict.
Yes.
By saying now that having rejected this name, what the president has to do now is to send another name, which is not within the purview, within the ambit of the constitutional provision that empowers Senate to confirm. Instead to confirm, to confirm or to reject, but not to descend to the arena of conflict. Having done that, it means we have more to it than what we have been told.
What is more to it? Or is there any more to it?
So I think we should begin to ask ourselves what exactly is the motive behind this confirmation or non-confirmation of Magu. Now, clearly, like he just mentioned, you have seen the Constitution, you have seen the provision in the Constitution, and you don't have to, Senate does not necessarily have to confirm Magu. Now, in all of this, what exactly is the motive? Why is Senate insisting that we must confirm him or we throw the money away? You can't even present him and represent him and all of that. I think there may be more to it, really.
Well, some people say there is more to it from the president.
Yes.
So why is the president insisting on Magu?
Because
why not take him out and get somebody else?
Well, why I cannot speak for the presidency? Because they are not paying me. I'm not their advocate. But the point is this. If you believe in somebody, everything possible will be done to ensure that that person gets that job. But unfortunately for the presidency, it has its own problem too. Because the problem was orchestrated from the presidency, that is the State Security Service.
Yes.
You see, because when people talk about DSS, I don't know. I've read the Constitution. Nowhere have I found the name DSS. What I know of that is State Security Service.
Yes.
But unfortunately, why should the State Security Service be privy to what is happening in the Senate when that same person being confirmed is also an agent of the executive?
Yes.
And the SSS is also an agent of the executive. Why should the House be divided within itself? That is one problem. The second problem is that more than 15 senators are facing EFCC investigation, and some of them are facing EFCC prosecution. Should these people, under the doctrine of equity, justice, and fair play, should they be part of the proceedings? Should they not have disclosed their interests? Should they not have excused themselves? Should Saraki have even presided over the Senate? And don't forget that many other things. When Saraki came on board, there was controversy. His case was investigated. When Ibrahim Magu also came on board, his case was also investigated. Remember the case that the Senate rules were doctored?
Yes.
So when you just oppose all this together, what do you come up with? You come up with sinister motive, you come up with a fifth columnist, and so many other things.
Why has the DSS not even waded into the anomalies of
they are caught in the web of controversy?
No, why has even the DSS not come? If they're so interested in things, why have they not come up with some kind of report about how even Saraki, about the hanky-panky about how Saraki emerged as Senate president?
I don't want to quickly say that perhaps the DSS is having, somebody's purpose, so taking somebody's bidding for now. But you see, what they have driven themselves into, it will take a lot more for them to come out clean. Now, you've pushed yourself to this point, like of no return. They must see to the end of this business. Yes. And so it's just a big dilemma for us and for the country. With the Senate come down, the DSS clearly cannot come and say we're going to give another report on whether it's Magu, whether it's Bukola Saraki, whether it's anybody, because clearly whose bidding are they taking?
But the question I always ask myself all the time is, where is Mr. President in all of this?
Exactly.
You're head of the executive. Why is there confusion?
Sam, it appears you
are insisting on this man, Magu, and then you're kind of saying that they don't want him there. I see allowing them there in the office to operate.
You see, my own problem is this. The presidency is guilty of complacency, is guilty of ineptitude. Because you have two agents under you. You are trying to confirm the head of one of the agency under you. The other agency is writing against that same person. It means there's no coordination. It means the house is divided within and among itself. And something should be happening there that we don't know.
There's something that also occurs to me in all of this. The Magu EFCC is investigating not only Saraki, Kweremadu, but a number of senators. Is it a problem? It's not a reflection of the problem of our democracy that the people who are supposed to confirm are also guilty.
Are being investigated.
Is it a problem of we vote the wrong people in?
Again,
okay.
I'm sorry. So it's this proverb was saying the person that's stolen a chicken, a cow,
yes,
is the one sitting as the judge of the person that's stolen the chicken. And you see, it's the biggest problem we have. If all this confirmation will have to come from the Senate, so you are even asking yourself, what moral ground do some of them have to actually sit and say, is it the people that are running away from the Interpol? Is it the people that has all kinds of cases on their neck? Are they the same people that are going to determine who is the righteous man or who is not the righteous man here to take this seat?
Yes.
It's a serious situation we found ourselves. And whether you like it or not, it's holding everybody to ransom.
Yeah, but the point is that normally in a situation like this, in a very responsible society, they will say, look, this man is investigating Saraki, leave that chair. Ibrahim leave that chair. And all the others, Akpabio, leave that chair. All of you, leave that chair. Buruji, leave that chair. All of you leave that chair because investigating. So only these people who have nothing. It's not as if they could not even see manipulate it. That, okay, our colleague, you guys investigating our colleagues, you guys should leave so that those who are not being investigated can preside over it. You know, even if they want to be clever, they don't even know how to be clever.
A semblance of, at least,
Yes, they don't have to be clever because if they want to be clever, they will ask all those being investigated to recuse themselves, and then those who are not being investigated will not preside and deal with Magu and say, well, our hands are clean, the man is not after us, but we want to do our job. But people would say, no, you guys are there in order to protect your guys who are not sitting. But that would be a neither here nor there issue.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. But you see, as Shakespeare said, the fault is in us.
It's not in us. It's not in our stars. It's not in our stars, but it's in us.
In us. Because we put all these people there.
Yes.
Somehow we voted them in.
Democracy.
Democracy will get the type of leaders it deserves.
No, let's take it this way.
But it is rather sad that when other countries are talking about development, we are not even addressing corruption. Because over the last 2 years, we've been trying to deal with corruption, and corruption has been dealing with us.
Yes. No, it's like saying that, okay, we say the whole idea is to fight corruption. The man who wants to become a senator bribes his way, bribes the electorate. We saw it in the news during the week. How electoral officers, resident electoral officers,
3 billion.
All of them were bribed with 3 billion.
No, 30 billion, sorry.
Yes. Then they were all bribed, and then you gave each of them money, and then you become a senator. I won't become a senator. How are you going to fight the same system that made you a senator? And then you are bringing somebody who will come and bring down the system. You are just, we are just joking, aren't we?
So meaning the fault is not in us. You see,
the fault is in us.
Nigerians are hungry, and they brought the money and they serve it to.
Okay, so we are being served right.
And now they're even distributing rice for Easter.
I said we are being served right, not rice. I'm talking about being served well.
Yes.
It's difficult, and again, it's a sorry situation. They are now the one deciding the affairs. And like you say, it was expected, you would have expected that the Senate, maybe they should have acted smart, a little, much smarter than what they are doing now. Now, you look at the case of Njime. It didn't take them a few days, just 2, 3, 4 days, and Njime is gone.
Yeah.
Against
the law of the against
if
rules.
This one is so grand, if you guys are really smart, the way we think you are, just like you said, just organize something.
Yes,
don't take Nigerians for granted.
Make it look like you're clever.
You're doing something.
But they are not even clever.
You see,
but that is because
I think a lot of arrogance there.
That's impunity because then nobody will hold them to account.
The arrogance.
Yes. Nobody will hold them to account. And as a matter of fact, nobody has held them to account because the man who is investigating you are Saraki. You're under CCT investigation.
Even under EFCC
investigation.
And the wife is also being investigated.
The wife is investigated. Other than that, you have a new case of Range Rover. Yes. That is a matter of customs. This is just the Senate President number 3 president, and you are stopping the man who wants to run the corruption war.
Because there's a DSS report.
Because there's a DSS report, and the president is there. Maybe the president is not well enough. Is that the issue? No, maybe he's not well enough to handle the issue. If he's not well enough, he should resign.
The point I've made is this. I said there's complicity within and in the presidency. If there's no complicity, why should a report be emanating from the presidency against an agent of the presidency? Because the president oversees the SSS, the president oversees EFCC, and they both report to the executive. And the head of the executive is the president. So his agents are fighting each other. And the leader is not taking action. And I think that speaks volume.
Now, they're talking about even the fight on corruption. The president, some people have said, well, if the president is that sincere about the fight on corruption, what has it done to the SGF? He cleared the chief of army staff.
He cleared the SGF too.
He cleared the SGF out of hand. There was no real investigation. And so why are you investigating? Why should your Magu be investigating Oloye?
Sam, you will not be able to determine whether there was no real, because according to the president requested the Attorney General of the Federation to investigate the matter. And it was the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice that came up with that report exonerating the SGF.
Let us see. We know what he said, and we know what the facts are. Yeah. And we know that he couldn't reconcile the facts. He couldn't reconcile the facts.
That's the funny thing about investigation. Yes. They can be returned this way or that way.
Or that way. Yeah, but we know the facts. That's it. Because you say if you come to equity, you are lawyers, you come with clean hands.
Yeah, agreed. But also
there are a lot of dirty hands.
Yeah, but also you must know that you see in our own legal system, it is accusatorial, not inquisitorial, in the sense that you don't delve into the.
The thing with our legal system is that this is something I'm working on for my column. The thing with our legal system is that we are trying to bring the legal rational system that we have in the Western society. The law that was created for a society whose values have been established. You want to bring it into a jungle, and you want it to work. That is the problem with our law.
Unfortunately for you, Sam, the point is not even so in America. In America, you have to prove yourself.
No, you have to prove yourself because the values are already there.
Even though the legal system in America is accusatorial, but in practice it is inquisitorial.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes,
that is good because everything has to be brought because they know that we have the values already set in this society.
Yes,
and the law will just go there and do it. There was no law against when they were fighting. What do you call it? Civil rights in the U.S. They used the same law, the same constitution that was used to shoot people. It was that same constitution that was retrieved to criminalize it. So it is not a problem of the law. It's a problem of lawyers and judges.
Application of the law.
Of lawyers and judges who are out of sync with the society, and the society that has failed to hold the lawyers and judges to account, because most of the lawyers, with all due respect, and the SANS, and with all due respect, have become agents of destruction of our law and our justice in this society.
You are likely to be right.
Yes.
Because you see, just as we have the bad eggs.
Yes.
In every
bad eggs are just too many.
The bad eggs.
Even if only one bad egg.
Even if it's one, it is bad in the legal system.
Yes.
Even if it's one, even if one egg is bad.
Yes.
Among
a little leaven it
contaminates the whole lot.
The whole lot. Exactly.
It contaminates the whole lot, and that's the unfortunate aspect of the society.
When you have a son who supports something in one court and in one case,
goes to another place
and goes to another and opposes it.
It will tell you that
the legal system is over. And when the legal system is over, the society is dead.
Yes. And that is why, I'm a lawyer, but, in law, we don't talk about morality, which is very sad. We don't talk about morality.
We have a call. Abiola from Lagos. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm Alaja Abiola from Somolu.
You are welcome.
Thank you very much. Please, I want to contribute on this issue.
Go ahead.
I have two issues for myself. This, I don't know, that customer that said they should be checking cards. I don't know whether I said it's Magu or so.
That said that what?
That said they should go. That said they should go and bring this thing for their cards. They should go and, this is what they mentioned just now. I've forgotten. I'm an old woman. So, number two. What I want to say, number two, is about these our senators. They are the ones suffering Nigeria because their salary is too much. They should help us ask them what they are going to do with those billions. I don't understand. No, this is not a matter. That's why I call you people.
I understand.
We are being sarcastic. No, never mind.
The senators and all these people, they are the next one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, looking at that is a good
the emoluments
of the. We'll go to that. Now, this is another issue for us to look at in this war on corruption. All this eruption of money from everywhere. 450 million, 499 million. Am I right?
400 million somewhere, 250 million somewhere.
250 million.
Being claimed by tomato sellers now.
Tomato seller, I said tomato person has come out. They become drama very soon, become comedy or farce very soon. So maybe 10 people will come and say the money belongs to
you remember that happened before? Was it only Jonathan? Somebody came out to say the money was his.
You see? You just come and say, this is my money now.
This is my money.
Then maybe 10 people can emerge and say, tomato sellers and come and say, well, this is my money. And then what do we do with it? Yeah. It is because of situations like this that I think Magu is now becoming
a superstar.
And it also exposes the judiciary because Magu is being shown to be working. Hello? Okay, Anthony from Lagos. Hello?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I also appreciate you for the good job you are doing, and to my lawyer in the house, the other gentleman.
Thank you.
My question is this, stemming from Mr. President. I'm so pleased when he handled it. Just that some of us have not been following the story very well. When the issue came back to him, he referred it to the Vice President, who he believes someone that has better understanding on how to handle issues with law. That is team working. That's an example of a team working together. And now the man has come to explain. I'm waiting for the Senate to respond. I know they will not respond. Not like you rightly said, they shot themselves in the foot. They were interested in squabbling the fight against corruption. No one thing what greed does to a man. It makes a man not to listen. The greed in them has allowed, they have derailed, they did not sit down to look at the law. In their own acts, in their own understanding, when you have an interest, you excuse yourself. But that is not play out. And then back to the money that have been flying around.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Anthony. Now, I was talking about all these recovered funds. How come we have so much money in all these places? Is it a reflection? Why? No. Why is all this money? Why is all this money hidden in the first place?
Well, there are too many things. The first thing is the TSA.
Yes.
The second one is the BVN.
Yes.
Because
there was a 4 billion that is not accounted for in one bank.
In one bank, and nobody's claiming it.
And the account officer
because the law establishing EFCC says if you have to prove that you are the owner of the money.
Yes.
So proving that you own 4 billion, 10 billion, 1 billion becomes a very equivalent task, because you have to tell the court that, look, I got the contract, so. And this was, I got it from Sam Omatseye and co.
I wish.
And I made a profit of 4 billion or 2 billion. So it becomes difficult. So why I cannot prove? So why don't you just leave the money there and escape prosecution? The second bit is the BVN, biometric.
Yeah.
You remember, even if you are using another person's name, your
DNA.
DNA. They can never be. They can never have two persons having the same DNA.
DNA, no.
So that is the problem. And I think we must thank those who introduced those two technologies.
Interestingly,
yes,
it is very ironic that these things are all traced to the Jonathan era.
Yes. The building.
Yes.
I think those who disseminated the news made mockery of English language.
Yes.
They're saying an apartment belongs to, whereas it was the
building that belongs to.
And whereas he said he got a loan from the bank, he had sold some of the flats out to be able to recoup money to pay up the mortgage.
Exactly.
So who owns that particular? Is it 7A or 7B?
Yeah, who owns it?
Apartment 7A or 7B. Somebody must own that place.
And there will be documentation to that effect.
Even if it belongs to our creator, we must know that this belongs to him. Or the money was deposited to our creator for the use of Nigeria by Nigerians.
Okay.
But
nobody's going to claim that money. Nobody's coming and readily say, I'm the owner of this money.
No, it was a temporary forfeiture order.
Yes.
They have to return to the court to see, we have waited. Nobody's coming up to court. There will be a permanent provisional order to the federal government.
Okay, your final take before we go on.
So I think where we are in this country, sometimes you want to think about Nigeria and you get this sharp headache.
Yes.
Because there are so many issues, and issues that ordinarily are not complicated. I mean, just the discovery of this fund, issue that ordinarily shouldn't be complicated. You see all kinds of answers flying around, and you wonder where exactly are we going.
Well, what I think is that the EFCC acted too fast in announcing all these monies. The EFCC should have taken its time after discovering the money and stood watch until the owner walked into the trap, and then you catch him. Now you get this money. But I think they were a bit too interested in the publicity and the optics. Yes. So they would say, oh, we found 490 million in what do you call it, in a shop in Lekki, and then you go to the, and now who's the owner, you don't know. You cash the money, but you don't cash it.
And somebody brought look at the Kaduna airport too. Was it
Kaduna airport too?
Somebody brought a 2 sacks of money, and you could not discover. And they did no this thing, no CCTV.
There's a little bit of, in spite of Magu's enthusiasm for the job, there's lack of method. And we need a lot of method to unearth the madness in this society. So on that note, we are going to take a break, and then we'll see you on the other side of the hour on El-Rufai versus Dogara and all that money. Stay tuned. Welcome back. As we examine Dogara and El-Rufai controversy, social commentator Gbenga Onitilo joins us in the studio. Welcome. Nasir El-Rufai stirred the hornet's nest when he called for more transparency from the National Assembly. He probably did not expect that the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, was also in a mood to cause trouble. Dogara challenged the governor to publish details of his security votes. He had to invoke the biblical quote that says, first take the beam out of your own eye, then you see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. Well, El-Rufai accepted the challenge by publishing his payslip, and Dogara has jumped on the bandwagon to show us his payslip. This clearly could be an ego trip and not necessarily a desire to promote transparency in government. Their enormous allowance as Speaker and Governor were deliberately left out of the published payslip. Should this open challenge for transparency excite us, Mr. Onitilo?
I think there's nothing to be excited about, but I think the honest nest has been stirred up between the people in power. And what will start unfolding, I think this is where the issue of advocacy among civil society group, the people should now take up the things that have come out from the banters among the two men.
Yeah.
El-Rufai has come out saying, I don't receive security votes, but all those things are allocated, like the expenditure for security within the state. I would like to see the statement of accounts, what exactly the expenditure is, where exactly in Kaduna have these resources be deployed to preserve because the things that have happened in the past few months in Kaduna have not really shown us that those funds, because it stated that some of these governors collect about 200 to 500 million every month as security votes. Money that you can't, unaudited, unaccounted for, unreceipted, and it has been happening. I think it started since the IBB days.
Yes.
During the military days, it now became something that was institutionalized. When we got into democracy, the politicians refused
to let it go.
To let it go. And those are the things, I think in 2004, 2005, the former Minister of State as at that time was saying most of these governors, when they collect this money, they convert it to dollars immediately. And immediately you see them traveling all over the world to China and everywhere. So also the National Assembly can't be exempted.
What did they go and do in China?
Only God knows. They are looking for partnership, but there is no development in their states. So they go with all these funds on personal projects, and also the National Assembly itself. Their budget seems to be opaque. We don't even know the breakdown of what anybody earns. He brought out a pay slip, showed out the pay slip to us. That's just a pay slip. We need to see what your allowances, emoluments, what keeps your office running, even the budget of the National Assembly itself. Nobody has seen any line item, any breakdown. So the people that are running governance in Nigeria, there's no transparency and accountability in how they manage states or federal resources. It's
the whole thing looked to me a joke when I read the story about Dogara and El-Rufai.
Taking less than 500,000.
El-Rufai was making a lunge at him. He thought that the thing would just go because El-Rufai likes to play the stormy petrel. So they made a lunge at Dogara, and then Dogara fought back and said, well, what of your security vote? Rather than the man coming out with security vote, he came out not with his own security vote, he came out with the nation's, the state's security allocation.
Yeah.
Which there are two different things. What's El-Rufai hiding?
No, wait, excuse me, wait. According to El-Rufai, he has no security vote. He has no personal security vote. They have allocation.
But it's appropriated to his office.
For his office, but he's saying that he does not spend it on his own.
So we can't
He
say
said the money is spent on CCTV cameras and so on. Let us see the breakdown.
My own concern is this. Why should we, in 2017, 21st century, be talking about accountability, transparency, openness in governance? Should all these things not be taken for granted? Why must we as a nation still be talking about all these things? When public office is public trust, and these people are just coming out to talk about all these mundane things, apart from the Freedom of Information Act, apart from the constitution that requires us to be transparent, to be accountable to the people, and the constitution requiring the press to hold government accountable to the people, why is it difficult for government to be open? Why is it difficult for government to tell us this is what is coming in, this is what we are spending, and what we are spending on A, B, C, D? See, this is my concern, because we have not gone beyond the mundane in this part of the world. And development continues to elude us if we continue to talk about all these things. Why should it be difficult for me to assess how much the Senate President earns? We are talking about a situation when they started this democracy, this present democracy in 1999. From 15 billion. Now we are, the first line charge is about 150 billion. And we don't know what they're coming up with in 2017 budget. But the last one was about 150 billion. And we don't have the breakdown, which is very sad.
No statement of account.
No statement of account.
Not even from any governor.
And we have Auditor General, we have this, we have that, and yet we're not being told. I mean, it means the country is being held hostage. And some people somewhere are just taking us for a ride.
The National Assembly is known for all the terrible things they do to make money. They will call somebody to come and explain something. Say, you DG of so, come here and explain why you have not done this and you have not done that. All they want is money. It's okay if you don't want us to, don't want trouble. Just we know your allocation. We all looked into this, all of this, when we signed it and approved this, and so on. We know your allocation. If you can just put 300 million in that small corner, just allocate to us, then you...
Have you forgotten the Farouk saga?
Yes.
Lawan Farouk,
yes. But one other side I want us to look at is when we look at the Nigerian national budget itself, people are not aware that the National Assembly that we are casting aspersion on the percentage of their budget is just 5% of the national budget. So 5% of the national budget. If you go to the states, State House of Assembly is almost about the same thing. So what we are seeing is the people in the executive arms of office seem to control the albatross of funds. And yet, like you said, sir, we don't have development. Development has eluded us.
Yeah, but don't forget, because this 5% is very deceptive.
Yeah.
It's deceptive because they use blackmail to get money from the executive. They also have what they call constituency project, which is not in the constitution.
Which means
the constituency project is the work of the executive. Now they create all of this. What do they do with the constituency? They do no constituency. They determine they are the contractors.
Yeah.
They are the executors. They are the monitors of the execution. And then they are also the accounting officers.
But both are brothers in arms at the end of the day.
Excuse me. Let me
tell
you this. We have less than 500 people there. Plus the bureaucracy of the National Assembly, they will not be more than 6,000. Let's say even give them 10,000. What is the percentage of 10,000 people to 140 million people?
The federal budget, does it come to 140 million people?
No, I'm saying that the budget is no. The budget.
If they do road for you, everybody will
benefit.
Where are the roads, sir?
The National Assembly should open up their budgets. The same thing, the governor should open up his, management of public funds. I watched him on Channels TV yesterday. He could not answer. What he is asked is he should tell Nigerians or Kaduna State citizens how much are local government collecting every month, how has he spent it, how much has it been collecting every month as security vote. Let him give us the breakdown and how he has spent it. If he is telling us that there's nothing like security vote, where has he gotten the money he used to pay to compensate the herdsmen? My second contribution goes this way.
The money is sent to outside the country. To pay the herdsmen.
From where he got that money. If he said he is not taking any security vote, is that money appropriated or he spent money without appropriation? Secondly, I have my take on the men on the seat there. You are elders. We that are a little younger than you want to learn from you. There are some of these. This is a TV program that people watch all over the country and even outside the country. There's an adage in my part of the world that if you sell your calabash at a cheaper rate at the middle of the market, you cannot get it even with millions. We should check how we leveled allegation against our public officer. We should level allegation that we can prove. I heard somebody saying there that the National Assembly blackmailed the executive to get money. All these things, the international community are watching us. We are not only damaging our institution, but we are damaging ourselves.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I said that the National Assembly blackmails the executive, and I say with all sense of responsibility that it is true.
It happens.
They do that as a matter of fact. We are not damaging them. We're only saying what they have damaged.
During budget defense.
Pardon of budget. Dogara himself said it, that pardon is not a crime.
It's not a crime.
Please.
And constituency project.
Yes, constituency project as well.
Constituency project.
I
would say that I want to construct. Is the work of the Minister of Works?
Because you see most of them doing projects in their constituency, and you are wondering, are they the executive?
Yes, I want to build hospital.
They're launching street lights. They are doing roads. Is that the work of the legislature?
It's not the work. You also make
laws. See them come and through press conferences.
I was embarrassed when I got to know that this money was actually coming from their pocket. But it was constituency project.
It's not from their pockets.
Money of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
No, one in Lagos just did, in his community, he did solar light, street lights. And I'm wondering, is that the work of a legislature?
No, but there's a reason for all of this, because they believe that the
That's
only way people will appreciate their contribution to the society is if they see concrete things.
But that is not the work of the legislature.
I know, but if you say you are going to the National Assembly to make laws, and you go back and say, I made law that people should not steal again. I made law. What has that got to do with what I'm... No. It's based on... It's part of on the development of the Nigerian electoral mind. Yeah. That we do not understand that. Like if you go to England, people will say, well, we have been monitoring what our MP is doing.
Is contributing to the floor?
Right, we have another call.
It's sad.
Hello?
It's sad.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, I'm on the line.
Go ahead. We're hearing you.
Okay, this is Galadima Jafar calling from Abuja.
Yes, go ahead, Jafar.
Okay. My take this morning concerning the Rufai and Dogara. We Nigeria now, I think we're getting wiser every day. It's a good challenge for we in Nigeria to come on board to take a point here, because when you observe the National Assembly that have been there to protect our interests and to defend our nation.
Okay. Seems that we've lost Jafar there. All right. That is how it should be. That the issue of El-Rufai and Dogara, they have to... Well, what do you take from it?
You see...
Your final take.
Well, just telling us what we ought to have known. That the society demands accountability, openness, transparency, and accessibility.
And your final take?
Yeah, well, I think what is happening, that they are all taking on each other, is good for us. Let them expose themselves, and I think the people should be the one to now take it up from where it is and become the one that become the pressure group, advocacy group, to draw more out of these people. It's good that they are on TV, they are everywhere. So I think it's high time we need to know, tell those people, publish how you spend state resources monthly, even federal resources. We need to see it.
Well, my own final take on this is frustration, because things like this happen in the country. We kind of enjoy the thrill and the atmospherics of it. After a few weeks, we move on to
another thing.
And then El-Rufai and Dogara can do whatever they want with their security votes and their
budget
and so on and so forth, and we are left to our own devices. Well, on that note, we'll take a break, and I'll come back and read an excerpt from my In Touch column in the Nation newspaper titled "Of Pinfall and Pitfall." Stay tuned. Yeah, this is the excerpt. Magu had a pinfall. If it were once, we would say, well, it is okay. After all, he was only just smacking his lips over the Ngilari triumph. The former Adamawa governor's drop signaled the first and true substantial victory in the war against corruption. So it would be a draw, one for corruption and the other for EFCC and moral uprightness. But Magu fell two other times. His ICPC counterpart fell once. So if we were in a football pitch, it would be a clear shellacking. Magu's EFCC groveling 1-3. But the war against corruption does not answer to the arithmetic of sport. Ridding the nation of scums and scams is not about sums of scores from sweaty men and women on the pitch of play. Now the presidency thinks what is wrong is that the cases were strong, but the EFCC was naive in its legal weaponry. It has not employed the right investigative strategies, and its lawyers lacked the intellectual braille subtleties and aggressiveness. Yet, when the stories first popped on the public radar, the targets were convicted generally in homes and offices in the country. So why would Patience Jonathan, who was no dollar millionaire, hold his princely sum of 5.9 million in a bank account? How did Justice Ademola become so blessed that someone would, in the gladness of his own or her own heart, drape his wife with 30 million naira? Others wondered why Nigeria's stolen money could easily become a lawyer's fee of 75 million in the vault of a feisty lawyer, Mike Ozekome. What of the election day hysteria man, Urubebe, who was cleared because the money was still intact? The problem with the case is not that the lawyers were mentally porous or the judges were tendentious errants or because the investigations lacked the eye of detail. It is simple. We have left the war on corruption in the hands of the EFCC or ICPC alone. So when a Patience Jonathan wins in court, she feels justified. She believes the money was not stolen from the government. She may be right. And if she is right, that is the real problem. Why or how did a first lady who was the president's wife get so much when she was only a permanent secretary in absentia and had no powers or access to the till? We are not following the money because we want the ICPC and EFCC to do so. As this column has noted before, all societies that brought down the high and mighty brow of corruption did it with public participation. This involves all the professions, the civil society groups, market women, banks, housewives, etc. It is the same fidelity to obnoxious law that will set free thieves. Ganifa Eme once told me that if there is a case between a rich man and a poor man, quote, I will find the law for the poor man. So the law is flexible. All I ask is that it be made for justice and not for the lawgiver. To achieve that, the EFCC cannot work alone. If we are ready to rid the nation of corruption, Magu will not have the pinfalls. To avoid such again, the pitfalls of an indifferent society must first be removed. And that will do it for this week. And to get the full package of that column, go to thenationonlineng.net. And I thank you for a guest for coming to this show today.
Our pleasure.
And until next week, when we tackle another set of issues. And I also want to say that this program is going to be restructured very soon, and so stay tuned. And until next week, and I say, be good.